What's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, man. Good.
Glad to have you on, man.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to kind of, you have your hands a lot of stuff, but I kind of want to just kind of let you give yourself an introduction, and then we can just go from there.
Okay. Yeah. Wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
None today, but anyway, I'm Tim Chance, born and raised in Keithville, live in Benton, been out in Benton for a couple years now, or 20 years now, but anyway, that's where I've kind of sprawled out my empire up there as much as I could. But my primary gig, my career for the past 20 years is as a financial advisor. I work for Bombay Bank, or broker-dealers, Ameriprise. People that are friends with me online, that kind of stuff, they wouldn't even know that I'm a financial advisor.
Yeah.
Because, it's not that interesting to discuss, number one. Number two, I can get in a lot of trouble, like for stuff that could be perceived as advertising. And
right.
So I just, I deal with my clients and I get referrals from my clients and some from the bank. And other than that, I keep that part of my life kind of quiet. Other than that, I guess the part that I'm most public about and the part that I kind of know you through is cars. I play around with old cars a lot, and we'll dig into everything that I do with that. And then the other thing that I really enjoy is real estate.
Yeah.
So my wife's a realtor, Ashley Chance, plug. And she's successful is what she does. And so that's given us the opportunity to find some properties, and I own a bunch of commercial real estate up there in Benton. And then we flip a few houses a year. And let me see. That's pretty much it. I collect licenses. That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
I got my Series 7 license, my Series 66, my insurance license, my car dealer's license, my commercial construction license. Let me see. I'm missing one or two. I'm just really good at taking tests. So I just take tests for all these things and end up getting all these licenses. So,
well, how did you get into the car stuff? Because that's where I've known you. Like, we've had some car shows I've hosted for some people, and you've came in and done some judging and stuff. But you have a lot of badass classics, and then like you sell them too, and buy and sell and all that. And that's been something that's like one of my passions I've had my whole life. Like, I'm just on the tail end of 2 restorations right now, but they're newer restorations. They're not like some stuff you have.
Yeah, I've seen your Toyota.
Yeah, and then I have the Jeep we just finished too. But like, I love that stuff. But man, people don't understand the time and effort that goes into those projects, man. They just don't understand. Like, even if you're not putting your hands on everything, still,
Yeah, it's a lot. And you can't make money at it, which is why I don't do that full time.
Yeah.
I just, I play around with it. Probably lose money working on other people's cars, but I do it because I love it. But anyway, well, I'll kind of walk you through that. So I was born here. My dad, huge car guy. He had 2 older brothers. He grew up, back in the heyday. He was born in 46. So when he was 10 years old, he saw a 57 Chevy and he fell in love. His brother came home from the war and got a 57 Chevy, and he was like, oh, this is it, man. And so just back then, when you were 15, you could go out and buy a car, like with money in your pocket.
Yep.
You could work a summer and go buy a car. And then his whole life, he would just, back then you would trade cars too. You'd be like, well, I've got this car, and this buddy you work with, hey, I got this car, and you just end up trading. People don't do that nowadays. But so his whole life, he was, never a wealthy guy, but he just bought cars and kept buying them and kept buying them and kept buying them. And that was his 401k.
Was he driving them? Like, was he like?
No, dude. My dad drives junk. Junk. So he just still to this day, like he's driving this 2000 Buick LeSabre that he got hand me down from my aunt. Like, he's got all these nice cars, but that's what he drives. So anyway, so by the time I came around, early 80s, you couldn't give these cars away.
That's a bad time.
Gas prices were crazy.
Specifically in the auto industry, the vehicles they were making, they were horrible too.
But everybody wanted like fuel
Right.
economic cars and whatever. And he worked out at AT&T out at the plant out there. And, he just sees somebody with an old Camaro or Chevelle or whatever it was and say, hey, when you get ready to sell that car, call me. And they'd call him, and, he'd end up making a deal, and he just ended up with a bunch of them. So by the time I came around, he had a bunch of nice cars and a bunch of parts cars. Back then they didn't make reproduction parts.
Yeah.
So you had to have a parts car.
Yeah.
So he's got a parts car for every car. Yeah. And I grew up just jumping from car to car, getting in trouble, like stealing emblems. Me and a buddy of mine, one day he came over and stayed the night with me. We must have got a screwdriver and got 25, 30 emblems off these cars.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it broke half of them and got in big trouble for that one time. But anyway, so I just grew up around. I thought it was normal. I thought everybody's dad had 100 cars. But so it was a cool way to grow up. I took a million things apart and never put any of them back together. But he would give me stuff to work on, and I would just take it apart. And so I guess that's kind of where it started for me. The first one I took apart when I was 15, I said, Dad, give me something to work on. And he had this old, he had bought this 70 Malibu from Pipes You Pull It for like $500. This was back in like 91, but it was just run down, had a spray paint job on it. And he said, here, work on this. And they're free to take apart. It doesn't cost anything to take them apart. So I took every nut and bolt out of this thing, man. And so I guess I was 35 by the time it got put back together.
Dang, so you have it now?
Yeah. I'll get buried in it.
Was that some like nostalgic for you? Just
yeah.
When did you decide?
I guess you've probably never seen it. I've always brought.
No,
I might have brought it up there once. Silver, black stripes, red interior.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. I either seen you driving it or I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
when
it.
I redid it, I did it as a SS44.
Okay.
So it looks like even the people who know cars the best, there's no way to tell a 70 Chevelle from, you can't by the numbers or by the VIN or anything like that. So the people that really know their stuff could look at my car and never tell that it was born in Malibu, but it is. I'm telling the world right now. But
yeah, because I thought it was a Chevelle. So yeah.
Well, Malibu's
too?
our Chevelle.
Right? Is it convertible?
So,
that one convertible?
No.
Okay, you have some convertibles though.
Yeah, I got a lot of
that's what I
convertibles.
thought.
So I had that car. I drove it around and finally got it done. Drove it a little bit, and I said, I want a truck. And in my head, like, truck to me is a square body Chevy.
Like C10,
that's
what are you talking, like 70, like 78, something like that?
Square body's 73 to 87.
87, yeah, okay.
So I was like, I need to find me a good square body. And I wanted a crew cab square body, and they're super hard to find.
Yeah.
So I looked everywhere for a single rear wheel crew cab square body. And I finally found one like on Black Bayou. I mean, I live in Benton, and there was one on Black Bayou, but it was a mud truck. It was bad. Yeah. So I rebuilt that thing. And then let me see, what was after that? I bought this little place up in Benton that was just like a one stall. It had one garage door, and the rest of it was just like an open warehouse. And then over time, I just started closing in this warehouse and pouring concrete and building all this up. And I created like a nice shop. I had 2 lifts and all these tools, and I'm like, I looked around and I said, man, I got a really nice shop. Like, maybe I could be a shop,
Yeah.
And so I said, I put on Facebook, hey, looking for a mechanic, and found somebody. And so brought a guy on to come work for me. We started working on some stuff for myself.
What year was this?
This was probably 8 years ago.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. So that was really the first commercial property I bought too. So that kind of got me into commercial real estate, and it's up in downtown Benton. And so I built this out, and then I started working on some stuff for other people, just smaller projects, whatever. And I kept buying cars too. I inherited this problem from my dad. Okay. It's not my fault. But my wife knew what she was getting into when she married me.
Yeah.
So anyway, So I started buying all these cars, and I got to the point where I had more than I needed, really, and then I was going to bring a trailer, and there was this beautiful blue 61 Buick convertible, and I'm somehow turned into a Buick guy. I don't know why I love Buicks, but I saw the 61 Buick convertible, and I'm like, oof, I got to have that. So I bought it, and when I got it back, I was driving it around, and this guy was like, hey, man, that car is beautiful. Can it be in my daughter's wedding? And I said, man, I don't really do that. I don't want to get into, I had been asked by friends and family members and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I'd end up doing that all the time. I like my weekends. And he's like, well, I'll give you $1,000. And I was like,
okay.
You know what? I do that.
Yeah.
And so that kind of started me in this whole other business. So I was already doing some restoration work, mainly on my stuff, but some customer stuff too. But then I was like, wait, I can make $1,000, so, then I started looking for cars that were like good wedding cars.
Yeah.
So I went out there and I bought a 41 Buick convertible, and, that one stays rented every weekend now. I name them all different women's names.
Yeah.
Brenda is that blue Buick, and Phyllis is the white, 41 Buick. But I've got, in our rental fleet, I've got a 76 Cadillac. I've got a white 54 Packard Caribbean. They only made 400 of them.
So I'll say
super rare.
Can you pull up that, Josh? Because I need to visualize that.
Hey, go to chanceclassics.com.
Chanceclassics.com.
So that's my rental website.
And that one's
and we do.
What'd you say that one was?
Here, just scroll. No, go back to homepage and just scroll down. There you go. So that's Brenda. Or that's Phyllis right there. Yeah, that's a great picture. She can't take bad pictures, man. So she stays rented all the time. Just keep scrolling down.
All right.
So there's a 53 Packard limo. There's
okay.
Brenda. That's the middle one, that blue one. That's got me into
one.
it. Yeah. There's a 37 Cadillac. There's Phyllis, my 41 Buick. Elsa, that's that Packard convertible that's super rare. 76 Cadillac.
Yeah, Eldorado.
Yeah. There's a 54 Packard convertible. They only made 800 of those. 50 Ford convertible, 60 Corvette. Hey, scroll back up. That 1960 Corvette.
Yeah. That red one right there?
My dad bought that car in 1968 when he was 21 years old.
Dude. And what did it look like when you got it?
So, it looked exactly like that.
Oh, he kept it in good shape this whole time? Okay.
Yeah, that's always been his favorite car.
Okay.
And so that car right there means more to me than any car on the planet. You couldn't buy that car from me. It's so cool to drive that and think my dad drove this when he was 21.
There's something about that, man. People don't understand.
Now, I look huge in it. I'm a big guy, and that's a little car. But then 57 Chevy, and then that's my 70 Chevelle right there.
Yeah.
So,
I haven't seen most of those. I've seen the Chevelle or the Malibu. I've seen, and the Packards, like, you don't see a lot of, what made you land on those for?
Well, okay. What made me name them?
Land on getting those Packards. Because they're really rare, and I'm sure they've got a hefty price tag.
So what happened, this oil and gas guy here, his name was Charles Amie. He was one of the most astute Packard collectors in the country. And for those that don't know, Packards were better than Cadillacs. They were in the 20s and 30s. A Packard was it.
Yeah.
Okay. They kind of fell off a little bit in the 50s, and I have 50s Packards, but they were equivalent to a Cadillac in the 50s. But he passed away. I went to his estate sale, and he had a 41 Cadillac and a 53 Packard sitting on the lawn of this mansion over off of Fairfield.
Okay.
All right. And I was like, ooh, these cars are awesome. So I went and called the guy who was handling the estate, and he hooked me up with the guy who owned them all now. And he said, man, I got a garage full of those things. I got 12 cars. Dang. I'm like, well, let me go check it out. So I went over there, and I ended up buying that limo. you know, because I'm like, I'm trying to start this whole rental business.
Yeah.
That would be really good for weddings, and you know, because some like to drive away in a convertible, some like to be in a limo and stuff like that. So I bought the limo, and he made me a good deal on that. And for the next like year and a half, I just kept dripping on him. I'm like, hey, you know, whenever you're ready, if you want to sell the whole thing in a lump sum, here's my number. It was a low number, you know, but he had a guy who was taking care of him, upkeeping, and that guy left him, and he finally called me, and he's like, hey, I'm ready. Yeah. And so I bought 13 Packers.
Damn, okay.
Yeah.
And you got rid of some of those?
Yeah, I have.
Do you have any old ones, like 20s or 30s?
6 left. No. My oldest one was a 50 that I sold. It was super rare, too. They're all pretty rare. You know, that yellow one right there.
Yeah, you don't see them much. I didn't realize you had them.
They only made 800 of those. And then the Caribbean up there, the white and blue one, they only made 400 of. So in 1954, that was the second most expensive car you could buy.
That's crazy, man.
So
how do you get parts for those things now?
There's actually, I got a guy that I can call up in Illinois.
Okay, so they source those because like.
Yeah. Well, there's people who specialize in that. I know. So luckily there's a good community around those. I didn't intend to be a Packard guy. I wanted to be a Buick guy, sort of. Well, my whole life I've been a Chevy guy, and then I bought that blue Buick and the white Buick, and I sort of, you get sucked up into these Facebook groups, you know. And I'm like, oh, I really want a '59 Buick convertible. If anybody knows where one is, that's what I want.
59 Buick. What color? Any color?
White works best for rentals, you know, for weddings and stuff.
What makes you like? And that's what you said. That guy did. He was losing the guy who was helping him. Like the upkeep on these things, it's you have to use them. You have to drive them. That's what people don't understand. Like you can't just let a vehicle sit. It's just like anything. Like you can't.
Yeah.
Or you're just gonna have problems.
We start them all the time. Luckily, they kind of get. Phyllis gets rented every weekend, but the other ones, it's kind of like you'd be surprised how evenly distributed things are. So I put together a pretty good fleet. I probably have too many. One that's not there. I just bought an '86 Rolls Royce convertible.
Ooh,
white.
What was that? White. Okay.
Yeah, Corniche.
Nice.
That it's got a few little. It's a little edgy. I got to work some things out, but it's going to be cool. It'll be great for this business. So, but it's been super fun. Like. I work some weddings, and that's kind of cool to be like a wedding crasher sort of too. Yeah. You know, but most of the time I've got a couple guys who work them for me. You know, because it's kind of weird too, knowing a lot of people in town and like working the wedding. I feel like to help a little bit. Yeah. You know,
I mean, dude, I do that all the time in catering. I'm standing around, I'm like, oh, it is what it is. I signed up for it. But it is kind of weird sometimes.
Yeah. You're like, what? Aren't you my financial advisor?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know? And so anyway, that's all weird, but it's fun too. But so that's been. It was like a business that just created out of nothing. You know, there's a couple of guys around town who have a car who will help out with certain things. So you're renting these.
Someone's driving them. They're not
we
driving.
chauffeur. Yes, I don't know anybody.
That's another thing. Like these vehicles, you can't just let. Do you have any that you will rent for people to drive, or no? You're not getting in that game.
No.
Yeah, man. I've seen that. It's like that's a slippery slope, man. There's just too much risk.
Well, look, I know what I do to rent cars, you know, and like I don't want. Nobody's doing those.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even drive these cars hard, you know, right. And so I don't want. Especially that car right there. I don't want anybody jumping in my dad's old car and running through those gears, you know.
No.
So, but that's been really fun just to kind of, I created that website, I don't know anything. And so that was really neat for me to build that out of nothing.
Yeah.
And it turned into a pretty good little business. And one that kind of pays for these cars, you know, it kind of, like it justifies, you know, my wife's like, dude, we need more cars. I'm like,
well, we got the budget. We need to spend the money.
Sort of, kind of do. I mean.
Oh, you got some more stuff on there.
Yeah, those are just some other ones. So that's my blue truck. That's my square body there.
Yeah. I've seen that one. Yeah. Oh, you got you a Cybertruck.
Yeah. I have all these cool cars, but it's incredible.
I still have yet to be in. I need to come ride with you.
It's the most amazing vehicle ever made.
Well, I mean that means something. You're saying it because like I've I haven't physically driven or ridden in either one, but like I know people say they love them, man.
Look, it's ugly. I get it, you know, but it's cool. Really, that's kind of a crazy story. It's sort of a little long how I came in to get it, but probably won't go into that. But
I mean, we got time.
It was one of the first. It was one of the first ones.
Okay.
And a
Did
buddy
you put
of
the
mine
deposit on one or whatever?
A buddy of
I
mine.
did, and then I sold that deposit and made like $800. I should have just held on. You know?
Yeah, a buddy of mine did, and we had to work some weird ways around it. Like as far as you weren't supposed to be able to sell the deposits, but anyway,
Hey, I should have said that.
I had to
there was like a transfer thing or something. I can't remember what I did. I don't know, but it's whenever like everything was popping off.
Yeah,
'Cause
I had to say he worked for one of my
was it
LLCs.
1,000 or 100?
I think it was just $100.
That was $100, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I ended up getting it, and it was kind of troubled to do it, but my kid, you know, he was like, he's 10, or at the time he was 10 or 9. And, you know, those kids, they freaking love them. And so I was like, it'd be cool. When I'd had a Model S since 2012, when early
Right,
Model
right.
S. So
I've like a white one or whatever.
And mine was black.
Okay, black. Yeah, they only had like 2 colors or 3 colors.
Yeah, I've had it for a long time, and like most people are scared of them, but I'm not scared of it. It never gave me any problems. I mean, there's no oil to change. There's no maintenance at all. My S was fast, but before I had that truck, I had a 2020 Vet. I had a C8 Vet, and that truck right there is so much faster.
It's so crazy to think, but people don't understand that either. There's no gears. There's nothing to slow it. You don't have
It's like time traveling, man.
It's weird, man. It's weird to think about, but it's just like a golf cart. Think about how fast they get up and go. They just have tiny motors, right?
Yeah. That one's not tiny. That's
that's crazy.
860 horsepower,
That's
1,200
insane,
foot-pounds of torque.
That's more than my F-250 with the tune on it. It's insane.
0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, it'll make you sick. It really will. And I mean, I pull cars with it.
So that's my question too. What do you get in range with your towing?
So I'm 350. It's about half.
Towing?
It's about half.
Okay.
Towing.
So you got to route your stuff out right.
Yeah.
Make sure
that Rolls Royce, I picked it up in Dallas with my.
So you can get over there, charge up, hook up, come right back, and you can stop in was that Lindale? Or
Yeah,
right there, if you need to or whatever.
they got 3 or 4 different spots.
Yeah, they put
back and forth to Dallas now.
Terrell.
But mostly that Texas Best Barbecue place.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
And I guess that is Lindale.
Yeah, that's right there, the north of Tyler.
Anyway, I've been there a lot.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I mean, it drives me. So on the way here, I just put in Red Wolf Media.
Yeah.
When I left my office.
Oh, you're in it today?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And it just drove me here. And I like to drive. Obviously, I'm a car guy. I love cars. And I have a bunch of cool cars. But, man, when I can hop in something and just hit a button and then scroll Twitter the rest of the drive.
I mean, yeah. And it's like that's what it's for.
Yeah.
But it's multifunctional because you can do that. And, like, I'm not against the electric car thing. I think there's just a need, and there's, like, I don't think we're infrastructurally ready for that for everyone to have them right now. I mean, we're getting there.
Really, that's the thing that scares me most about my cars and about my dad's collection is, like, in 5 years, it's going to be expensive to have insurance on a car that doesn't drive itself.
Yeah, and then also so I've looked at some of these conversion kits. Have you seen that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
But like, did you really want to do that? Like,
No,
come on, man.
it's hard to do. I mean, I got a 31 Buick convertible that I'm like, it'd be badass if I made this thing electric, you know? But like, I'm telling you, when you get in this thing and it drives itself and it drives better than you or I could, and it does things, you're like, oh, wow, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it did. You know, like an ambulance was coming this way, and it pulls over and gets on the side of the road until it's gone, and then it goes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, man.
I mean, it's getting way better, man. And then they're integrating he's working on all kind of stuff right now, but he's got the new AI stuff they're integrating and stuff, man. I don't know what's
so. I mean, it's a robot that drives me around.
Yeah.
But you know, that being said, I'm still an old car guy. You know, and that's really what I'm passionate about.
Have you hit your bucket list car yet? Do you have one?
It changes a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have like 4 or 5. Like I always want an excursion, but it's got to be the right one, and I'm just gonna have to build it. Like every one you find is gonna have 300,000 miles on it. If you find a mint one, then it's gonna be altered or whatever, not studded. And then like I want a 55. I've always wanted a 55 Chevy truck, just always. Me and my grandpa talked about building one. We never did. And then I've always wanted a Chevelle, like you have. But my buddy's building one. I'm like, I don't need one now. He has one if I want to drive it. His is almost done. It looks similar to yours, but he did a matte black with a gloss black racing stripes. And he's doing something a little, Pomps has it right now. They're finishing out like the dash.
Okay, yeah.
But like I was like, well, I don't need that one because he's got it, you know. So like, but those two, and then these C10, I mean, no, it's these C10s. These have you been seeing them?
67 to 72?
No, I had a 68. I had a 68 four-wheel drive one in high school. I was a dumbass. I traded a 99 Jeep Wrangler for the 68 truck, dude. It had 454. It was bored up. It had all kind of stuff. Dude, it threw a rod in 2 weeks after I got it. After I got it running. It had like a Holley 750 on it with a high-rise intake. It had nitrous hooked up behind the seat. Of course, we unhooked all that. But, like, dude, I was an idiot. I got that truck, drove it around. My shift cable broke. I had to get out and leave it in drive. I could get under it and just move the transmission, just leave it in drive, and just crank it and just make sure wherever I pulled at that I could, make a U-turn, bro.
That's funny.
It had like an 8-inch lift. It was stupid.
Yeah.
But like, no, these newer C10s, I don't know what year model, like 8, it might be 70. The value's going through the roof now. Will you pull like a, Josh, you pull like a 70, what would it be? Like a
square body.
Yeah, square
so
body,
like my
but,
blue.
but a later square body.
Yeah, so 80s. I mean,
Might be 78. I don't know.
All right. There's round eye square bodies.
Right.
Which is 73 through 79. And then in 80, they had some with a round eye, some with a square eye. Silverados had square eyes.
These are going to be square
and then,
eyes.
So 80, 81
right.
through 87 were all square eyes.
Hit 83
and then like
black two-wheel drive.
87, I think they had the quad headlights.
They didn't look good.
And that went all the way through. The Suburbans were through 91, I think. But that's like 85, 87.
So no, I guess we are talking. So if those are done right and they're dropped and stuff, there's a big market. I don't know. I've just been seeing like these at shows and stuff come in. They're like
the generation just before that
is what like
67 through 72.
Okay,
those really
Let's
bring
do that then. Let's do like
the
a
big
67.
money. Like when people say C10, that's what I think of.
Yeah, that's
right
it.
there.
Yeah, that's the old. Yeah, that's the original. A buddy of mine had a blue one. Back in high school, his grandpa helped him build, and dude, he screwed that truck up. But they're, I don't know. I've seen some that your model. I've seen some of the next one up, but man, they're bringing a lot of money right now. Anyways.
Yeah, no, trucks are going wild. I mean, even so, the Chevys got so expensive that people started getting into the Fords. Especially like the Highboy, like a '78 Ford. Those started bringing money, and then the Dodges have come up too of this era. But like for me with my truck. Like when I think truck, I think that square style. That's what my grandpa had.
Right.
So that's why I built that blue and white truck. And it's, it's got a 6-liter LS in it. It's got the running gear out of a 2007.
Okay.
3/4 ton is what's in it. But it's all modern. Bluetooth, air conditioning, power windows, power steering, power door locks.
You got to, man.
Yeah.
If you're going to actually drive.
That's the coolest thing about what you can do with cars now is you can make them to where they're as good as most cars. Not as good as a Cybertruck, but as good as most cars.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy when like just the stuff you can do with like dropping the easy air conditioning unit in there. You don't have to like redo anything anymore.
So we do a lot of that. I guess I should go back kind of. Talked about my rental business, but as far as like I did get my dealer's license after I got this place, and then I started thinking about when my dad bought all these cars, like a lot of them were a title mess.
Oh yeah, dude. That's just,
back in the day, you'd trade for something. And, he'd buy something and never register it.
You don't have a bill of sale.
I hope that DMV's not listening right now, but I was like, how am I ever going to fix this? And I was like, well, look. I'll just get my dealer's license, and I like to buy and sell stuff, and then that kind of solves some of the problem. He can sell some of these cars to me, and we can fix some of that stuff and everything. And so now I've titled his stuff in my name, but then once I had the dealer, I have physical location. I was like, okay, well, now I'll start buying and selling some stuff. And so pre-COVID, I used to go to the auctions and mess around, and you could buy a $10,000 Mustang and sell it for 13.
Yeah.
But after COVID, man,
So you couldn't
there were no $10,000 Mustangs.
I was doing it, but I was doing just enough where I didn't need a dealer's license. But I wish I would have got one because it would have opened the door for me. But I was just Facebook marketplacing it, finding these deals. Dude, I would buy Tundras. Like, I was buying a Tundra for like, I'd get one for like 12 and sell it for 18. Like, crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and then about 2021, it just went like right after.
Yeah, I mean, well, the prices went crazy.
The prices went crazy, and then like everyone caught on to it, and like because I was always been like a Jeep guy, and like those got really inflated.
Yeah.
Because I have an LJ that, dude, if I was in that market now, I could sell for damn near $40,000.
Right.
But I might can pull 25 on it. It's like, well, I'm not going to sell it because I lose my ass on it at this point,
Yeah.
you know. But it's crazy. Is the classic car market been like that too? Like, or did it?
No, it didn't. No, it's been steady. I mean, there was a little bump up. Everything got a bump up in 2020.
Yeah.
You know, like the government just put so much money out in the system. You know, everybody bought RVs, and interest rates were low, and everybody just spent all their damn money. You know, but there was a little bump, but it's been pretty steady. And the thing is it's good and bad for me. But like, I think it's probably going to stay steady when everything else goes up, or maybe even fall, because what's going to happen is over the next 10 years, everybody that owns a 57 Chevy is going to die.
That's the thing, and right. So that's what I was going to bring up is the demand for that car is diminishing, and
they
the
always
value of
fall
that
off.
car.
It's just like those old Packards that you were asking me about, the 20s and 30s Packards. I mean, the super rare stuff will always hold its value, but like, you know, and my 50s Packards, people our age don't know what a Packard is.
Right.
You know, so a car that was the most expensive car you could buy back in the day, that car might sell for 15, 20 grand now.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, it's kind of, it's crazy.
Well,
because 30 years ago, that car was 30 grand.
Well, it's just based on nostalgia, like we talk about. Like we're looking at those, like those C10s and stuff.
That's right.
That's what you grew up seeing. So like that's what you're going to spend money on to rehab, you know, or restore. And it's like, I love the Broncos. I had one 87. I love those. Like the older ones are cool, but like the 80s with the big motor in them.
Well, you
the
can
big
actually
body
use
one.
those. Yeah. The little ones are, it's difficult, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like really that's what's popping right now is those 80s cars that aren't, most of them are pieces of craps, but you know, like a GNX
when I said that earlier,
Grand National or like
over electronic, that stuff wasn't really
right.
Man, it wasn't really there yet, you know.
Well,
what I mean?
dude, 84
and the emission
Corvette
restriction stuff.
84 Corvette is the worst car, you know.
Dude, I flipped a 94 Cobra for someone, and that was the piece. I was so disappointed in that car.
Yeah,
dude, I got it. I drove it for a couple weeks. I was like, I'll sell it, and I made him. I don't remember how much I made him on it, but like, dude, I was so disappointed in that car. Like, I don't know, just that window between. I don't know what it is, 85 to 98. I don't know what years they are, but like,
with all the interiors were just plastic and crap, and
well, it didn't have like it just wasn't fast either, dude, at all. Like, when it was just not impressed. I was not impressed. I was like, dude,
it wasn't until like mid 2000s that horsepower really made a comeback. But then. It's crazy, like things got super nuts. I mean, they still are nuts, horsepower, but like it's fixing to flip to electric. Not all, but like, you know, if you want to go fast.
Well, I have seen that like they're bringing a V8 back for the TRX.
Yeah.
They're talking about bringing a V8 back for the Raptor.
And the Chargers and everything, that flopped.
And then
them going electric with that.
Right.
Well, they tried to shove it down everybody's throat.
I think they went the wrong route.
Like, whoa, hey, man, like, why don't you let us make the decision instead of you making it for us?
Yeah. Well, and then Toyota's talking about bringing out they have a new motor. I don't know if you saw that article, but I see all this crap. They have a new twin turbo V8 out that they're talking about that being the Raptor killer. So like, it is cool that they're putting some V8s back in some trucks because I mean, come on, man. Especially if you put twin turbos on them.
Yeah. Well, what's stupid is that like anybody can drive these things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a 15-year-old can get a 800 horsepower car that'll go who knows how fast, and we could just cut them loose. Like some of these things are like, man, not everybody should be able to have this.
I agree because when
you know, even like a Model 3 Tesla,
yeah,
man, it's $25,000, or a brand new one, $45,000, and it's as fast. It'll smoke my '70 Chevelle.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
you couldn't, like in high school, you're getting beaters. You're not driving stuff like that. You know, now that everything's got 300 horsepower, like just like off the lot. These little tiny turbocharged little 4-cylinders and stuff. I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's been interesting to see it evolve. But the electric stuff that's been really interesting for me. One, because I think I've ridden it. I can't remember. I rode in a Lightning, I think, which those are cool.
The truck,
but it's not nothing to what the Tesla is.
No, Tesla's just so far ahead on that stuff, and that's, you know, I got lucky when I bought my Model S in 2012. I also bought some Tesla stock, and so
so it just paid for itself.
That's been very good. Yeah,
that was a good time
go back and research the share price then versus now. So anyway, so I did the dealer deal. I still have that license. I don't buy and sell that much stuff anymore, but it helps me to insure all these cars, you know.
Yeah.
So to have a dealer's policy instead of having to have individual policies on a bunch of stuff. And then, so having that shop there, that's what kind of got me into commercial real estate, because there was a little junk store right across the street from me. It was like an old antique shop, but it was just junk, man. You walk through, it was junk everywhere. And it went up for sale. I'm like, well, you know what? I could do something cool with that. And so I leveled it and built a nice 2-story brick building down there in downtown Benton that, you know, I was planning on putting cars all in it and just renting out the front to pay for the back, kind of. And then these cheer girls came to me, and they were like, hey, we need some space. And I was like, well, how much are you willing to pay? And they gave me a number. I'm like, okay, I don't need car parking. And so that's where the cheer gym is up there. And I have a little shop in the back where I still work on some cars in the back. But so then that happened, and then I bought another place across the street and built some warehouses. And so I just kind of got into, built some offices down by the courthouse. And so that's been fun for me to kind of play Monopoly a little bit. You know, the bank owns it all right now. But hopefully one day I'll own some, you know, people, they're like, well, dang, you own this and you own this and you own this. They all think I'm a trillionaire or something, you know, but like, it's, I got a lot of debt. So anyway, but that's fun. And so I mess around with that too. But not near as entertaining as the car stuff.
No, man, I love that stuff, man. I just think, man, there's just not that many people around. There's a lot of people that have cars, but there's not that many people around here that, like, you get to really talk about it, you know, or whatever. Like, there's a couple shows every year, but it's, you know.
Yeah, what I hate that, like, you know, my kid's in this age where he's 12, playing baseball, like, so I never get to go to the car shows. You know, Chris with Louisiana Classics, like, I'm always like, yeah, I'll come to the show. And then it comes, I'm like, oh man, this thing came up. So I never go to that stuff, and I hate it. Shout out my boy Chris. But, and then like World of Wheels, I'm like, dude, I could have, I got 10, 12 cars that are World of Wheels that sit right up there with any of those cars. Yeah. And I just don't have the time or the resources to get them all cleaned up and get them all up there and all that kind of stuff. So that's this weekend or next, I think.
Yes, I saw something the other day. I forgot about that.
But I think somebody new bought it, so I think maybe they're putting some more resources into
that would be cool, because it needed a little facelift. Nothing against it. I mean, dude, it's been a staple for a long time, but it could use a facelift.
Yeah, but and then, you know, y'all do a little one up here, but I don't get to do near as much car related stuff as I'd like to.
Yeah. I don't either. I would do it every weekend if I could. Yeah. I still haven't done cruising the coast yet. Did you ever go do that with them? Dude,
my dad does it every year.
I wanted to do it. I said we're gonna make time, and then, dude, I'm just gonna have to carve it out no matter what. Which the businesses are growing enough to where we have some. I can move some stuff around now. But man, I would just love to. I don't even know what I'll take. I might just take the Jeep. I don't know. But
you don't have to take anything, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah, it's my dad goes every year, and he's just like, son, you got to go. And I know I do, but like, I spend all these money on LSU season tickets.
Yeah.
And it's always like a game day. It's always like, Ole Miss or Alabama or, I'm just like, I can't go again,
Yeah.
So balancing all that stuff out. And then last year was during fall break, and I was like,
that's why we didn't go, I think. Yeah.
I was like, Ashley, can our fall break be this really cool car show? It's at the beach, honey. She's like, no, we ain't doing that. So anyway, maybe I can talk her into that one day too. But
one day.
Yeah, it's cool. I need to go to that. One thing we do every year, we go to Pate Swap Meet, which is at the end of April. I go there with my dad. It's like tradition. He's gone to every one since the first one, which was like in 1960
Where's that at?
something. It's at Texas Motor Speedway.
Okay. Okay. I've seen that. I didn't realize that's what it was.
They started doing Good Guys on that weekend too.
Okay.
So, but that's just been for a couple years. But it's just so cool, man. There's just junk everywhere, and it's really, my dad's like a junk head. I mean, it's really cool walking around with him, and I'm like, what is that thing? Oh, I got one of those. I'm like, yeah, of course you do. You got one of everything. I mean, he's got a shop the size of a football field, but he's also the best at like hubcaps or any, he could see a bumper hanging up there for sale. Oh yeah, that's from a 59 Chrysler Lancer right there. I'm like, okay, Dad,
Well, that comes in handy if you're looking for something, especially if you have something unique like that. You can't find stuff for. It is crazy that they're reproducing so much stuff now.
Certain cars, Chevelles, Camaros, Mustangs, early Broncos, those trucks right there, those square bodies or the C10, you can build them out of a catalog.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need a frame.
Yep.
They'll sell you the frame. They'll sell you all the body components. So it's pretty neat. It really comes in handy when fixing one of those up. Like, that blue truck that I have, that square body, I've got half in it what I've been offered.
Yeah.
And that's pretty rare.
That makes you feel good if you ever need to offload it,
Yeah.
I think next one I do, I'll just buy one that's like, and sometimes it's the move and sometimes it's not, but if I find something like just semi, I know I might have to go through and do what I want to it, but at least a good rolling chassis. I don't
buy one that's done, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Buy one that
or when I say done,
cheaper.
I'm saying I'm still going to do something to it, but like,
there's some fun in the experience, and you being able to make it yours.
Right.
But
I buy when it's
you
done,
can
just
spend half
repaint
as
it,
much money. Yeah. I guess I should plug that, like, for years I was just working on a few other people's cars and then my stuff, but I did just hire a paint and body guy like this week.
Nice.
So he started Monday. He's been in another shop here locally for 5 or 6 years, does really good work. And I've been turning away paint work forever, but now I got a really good guy who can do that, along with my other guys. Talked to another mechanic today, and so kind of thinking about cranking that up. I don't know if they have the mental capacity for another business. I've just kind of been running it low key, but
paint and body thing's huge, man.
Yeah,
that's people are still misunderstood and think they can get a $2,500 paint job. Man, I do not understand.
You can't buy the paint for $2,500 hardly, man. So it's it's $100 an hour, and it's going to take a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So anyway, at least that's not a set quote. Okay. But yeah, so I've started doing some more of that. I'm excited about that. And then you asked me about the neighborhood deal.
Yeah, the new development, man. So that's huge for that area.
I'm excited about that. My wife's in real estate. I already mentioned that, but her father's a developer and a builder and stuff. And right place, right time. I was lucky enough to get involved in this new real estate development up in Benton, up on Kingston Road. It's called The Park. It's kind of going to be a lot like Providence down in South Shreveport, in that we're going to try to incorporate our commercial into the residential, and all connected by golf carts, and it all just be one big community.
Nice.
You can walk your dog and go get a cup of coffee, or you can ride your bike down to the gym, or you can you can stumble home from
Yeah,
the restaurant.
exactly,
You know,
yeah.
that kind of deal. So, anyway, we're working on that. It's just really, really close. We'll probably start pouring some slabs here in the next month or two. We're working with the parish to get our streets accepted right now, but they're all poured in the first phase.
So what's that look like timeline wise? What are you hoping for?
Well, there's so we'll start building houses early this year.
Okay.
First half of this year. We do have 3 commercial lots that are for sale. Sort of on the west side of our entrance. That's going to be, we're selling those off as lots, and that'll be the first phase of everything.
So we're looking
second
at
phase,
same layout, residential, commercial, like retail, business, just
Yeah.
restaurants.
Yeah, retail, restaurants, office.
Gotcha, office,
you know, some of that stuff. So just anything up there. You know, we'll have an insurance agent, or just pharmacy, stuff like that. So anyway, and we've talked to some businesses. We got some stuff locked in. I'd probably rather not talk about it here. But anyway, so all that'll happen within the next year, and then once we get kind of sold out on that stuff, we'll start phase 2 of residential, and we'll also start sort of the town center of the whole deal. Will be about, we're probably 2 years out on that. And so that'll be like this big building that's going to have turf and hanging lights and, a little stage, nothing like they have down here at East Bank, but like somebody can get up there and play a little acoustic show or something like that on a weekend, and, stuff like that. And it'll all be backed up by this, one big building that will look like a bunch of little bitty buildings, kind of like a old school Main Street type situation.
Gotcha.
And so that's the vision, but that part's still a couple years out. But we're super stoked about it. That's that.
No, I think it's that's exciting for that area, man. Because I lived in, we recently just moved, but I'm still up in North Bossier. But we were in Palmetto. We still have that as a rental there. We're in Palmetto Park. In the newer part, but that's like backs up right to that. I'm like, oh, this makes my real estate value go up.
Yeah.
So I'm hanging on to this. But no, like it's great for the area, man, because it's needed. Because there's just so much. There's so many residents up there, and they're constantly building more and more and more. And you have to travel. Like you have to travel a good,
Yeah, you get in the car and you start going south on Benton or Airline, and you're like, that's when you make your decision on where you're going to eat.
Right.
It's not like, hey, we're going. It's like, hey, it's dinner time. Let's get in the car, and then you start driving, and you're like, okay, you want to go here, here. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, pretty much. So this will at least give us an option. There's a few options up there, but how much Taco Bell can you eat?
No, for sure.
So this will give us a few more options as far as that goes in North Bossier, and that's, that's kind of where I've planted my flag.
Is that technically a Benton or a North Bossier address?
Yeah, anything north of Kingston is Benton.
So that's all Benton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In the schools, the neighborhood, you'll be able to. They will have a bridge over the bayou to where you can go to the elementary school right there, the high schools, and so, I'm proud of it. Like I said, I'm from Keithville, but I kind of planted my flag up there. And I've poured a lot of my life into developing downtown Benton, and this is way south of that, but it's still part of Benton, and I'm proud of what we're doing up there. So it's neat.
No, man, that's exciting, dude. I think that's gonna be huge for you guys.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
What else? Anything else, bro? Any other plugs or anything? I really wanted to get you on to talk about these cars for a while. I think we covered a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. You asked me bucket list car.
Yeah,
I guess we can circle back to that. I mean, so I have a 59 Vet. I'm kind of building it right now.
Okay.
My bucket list car.
What color?
So it's going to be light blue with navy interior, silver coats, kind of a silvery light blue.
Okay.
With a navy blue soft top, but it's a Resta mod. It's got a modern LT1 in it, 6-speed.
What do those have original in those?
Would have had a 283 in it.
So a little tiny V8.
Yeah. But it was a parts car. Back to so my dad has at 60. This 59 was his parts car.
Ah, okay.
So, but after so long, even it was wrecked in the front and everything. But even a wrecked 59 Corvette It's not a parts car. You know,
Right.
it was when I started working on it, it was probably worth $30,000.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, but I've stripped it all down. We put these quarter panels on it that are 3 inches wider on each side. So we're gonna have some wider meats underneath it. This car will be as good as the ones you see at Barrett Jackson, the
Nice.
C1s that sell for like $700-800.
Do you go to any of those?
I've been to one.
I've always wanted to go to those.
Man.
But I can only imagine. Like, my buddy just got back from Meekum, and he was like, dude, the players there, it's like, you think you're going to go there and buy something? You're not.
No,
like,
dude. And Meekum is nothing
yeah.
like Barrett Jackson.
Yeah, right. Barrett Jackson, a whole
Dude,
other
Barrett
level.
Jackson is like, I'm a 70 Chevelle guy, right? But I'd never seen a real LS6 Chevelle. I went there, and they had 10 of them lined up, right? 10 of them.
Yeah.
And not just were there 10 of them there, they were all going to change hands that weekend.
Yeah.
It's a no reserve
Over
auction.
$100,000 probably.
It's
all of them.
Yeah. It's a no reserve. So everything you see there is going to sell. It's nuts. It's really nuts. But like everything's there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You just walk and walk and walk and walk.
I've been
and
watching those shorts. They started popping in my algorithm. And I'm just like looking, and it's like, what do you think this went for? And you know, it's a lot of more modern stuff, not the older stuff, but like you'll just have random stuff to roll through there.
Yeah. So that 59 vet, really, I like anything from 59.
Just
The year just does it for me. I mean, you know, 59 Chevy with those big fins that go out like this, and the Batman taillights.
Yeah.
So 59
that
Chevy.
was that one. Yeah. Okay. Because 57,
and then a 59 Buick, they go like this. It's flat in the middle, and then they come up like this, and that's beautiful.
The craftsmanship in that era, like post-war, man, and just what they were doing, like,
Dude, it was
the way
just
they
like,
built those things, and like everything was handcrafted, like everything in there.
It was just form mattered as much as function, you know. And then I guess 70s, the cars all started to look the same, you know. But 59 is my year. If I could have one of everything GM from 59, that would be it for me. But I like all the years. I like
no
55.
No Mopar for you.
No, we don't do any Mopar. That's you know, out of all of our cars, we have 6 Fords.
Yeah.
You know, we got a hard top, a convertible, and a fastback Mustang, 65 Mustang.
Nice.
And then a 65 Thunderbird and a 70 Lincoln. But that's a 65 truck too. But you forget about something, man. But
No, yeah,
anyway,
no, for sure.
Yeah, but all GM, really.
Yeah.
Big GM people.
Yeah, man. I just Mopar's not my thing, man. I've tried, and I can't.
No.
I don't know.
Look, out of all those cars right there that you just showed that I rent, the one that stays broke is that black 50 Ford.
Yeah.
Damn Ford, man. Ford. I mean, look, the best ones, those Packards, man, every time I get in them, they just crank right up. You know?
Yeah, man. Those are, I haven't seen, I think I've seen that blue and white one. Maybe I've seen you in that one or something, but.
Well, I don't get them. I mean, I do drive them. It's funny, like, my kid could care less about them.
Isn't that funny?
It's
like how
crazy.
that works? Like, my kids don't give a damn about none of that stuff.
I mean, I think maybe eventually he'll be able to appreciate it, but like, you know, if I walk up on a 59 Impala and a Lamborghini, I'm looking at the 59 Impala.
Right.
You know, my kid would never even see that 59 Impala.
He would look at the same thing with the Tesla, the Cybertruck. Like, every time my son sees one, he's like, "Oh, it's a Cybertruck!"
Oh,
like, they love that shit, you know. So, like, it's just one of those things.
So he just didn't get it, but hopefully he'll grow into it. But yeah, I drop him off all the time in something new. You know, the teachers that pick up, they're like, "What is going on with this?" You know, they don't even understand. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I like catching up with you today. I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know we've crossed paths over the years, but I didn't really, know what all you're into.
Great, man. I appreciate you having me in. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
any last plugs or anything before we go?
No, Mom, if you saw this, I love you. Dad, thanks for everything with the cars and everything. And Ashley, thanks for letting me buy all these cars. And Towns, I love you.
Cool. That's a wrap, bro.
Thanks, buddy.
Yes, sir.